let's get into the big story of the day. We've ranged widely there. Yeah. So there are a lot of front pages involving this thing. So this is Shabana Mahmood, who used phrases in the House of Commons that the House of Commons has not heard for a long time. And she got slightly told off, which is a whole area of debate as well, whether she, basically saying because of the situation in this country, she, as a Muslim Asian woman, gets abuse. So, well, yes, this is Guardian, of course, talking about Labour backbenchers, that they don't like it, some of them. The Times, families face deportation in asylum law shaker. So we need to talk about this. It's a big old package, this. The plans include families being deported and cash incentives offered to families who leave once their claim has been rejected. If they don't leave, the Home Office then escalates their case, forcibly removes them. This has been called repugnant by one MP and shameful and obviously cruel by another. The proposals also include seizing the assets of asylum seekers and forcing people to wait 20 years before becoming eligible for permanent settlement. The Home Secretary gave an impassioned speech in the House of Commons yesterday after being accused of stoking division. Let's see.
Say to the honourable gentleman, I wish I had the privilege of walking around this country and not seeing the division that the issue of migration and asylum system is creating across this country. Unlike him, unfortunately, I am the one that is regularly called a and told to go back home. It is I who knows through my personal experience and that of my constituents just how divisive the issue of asylum has become in our country.
Well, She did use words we can't repeat here, and the Speaker then hauled her up on it. I don't know whether the Speaker was right to, Yasmin.
Well, I don't know what the Speaker said.
Oh, well, the Speaker said, you even though you are reporting the speech of others, you might like to apologise.
Yeah. I think she's completely out of her box and she's completely wrong.
Out of her box?
Yes. I couldn't bear to watch her yesterday.
Really? Why?
You remember, this woman who shares my religious heritage, I only discovered this because of my fellow panellist, was not that long ago in France giving help to those poor asylum seekers in camps because she felt for them. And today I watched her.
Volunteering, was she? Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard this.
Okay.
And I remember her standing up because I was there, speaking out against Israel and defending Palestine. Who is this woman that now talks about fixing the problem as if asylum seekers are fridges or washing machines, having no empathy at all?
Peter, what do you think?
Oh, I agree with Yasmin that she's terrible and I can watch it, but I've a rather different stroke because I just don't think that anything she said was true. I don't think these are reforms. I don't think they go far enough, and I don't think she's even gone anywhere near the actual problem that we need to fix, and that is the legal
go far enough.
Absolutely not. Of course they don't.
Even 20 years having to wait?
This is the point. The devil's in the detail. It's all kind of consulting language. So, for example, the benefits one is the consultation is only starting next year. It's not going to be brought in. This is all announcement after announcement after announcement.
Right.
It's headline chasing. It's not the actual reforms we need and the majority of the country want.
Well, there we are.
We don't know that the majority of the country want this. We have to stop talking about the people are going to vote for reform. This is what reform wants. Reform wants. And, why would anybody vote for Labour if they can vote for Nigel Farage?
Well, that's
why would they do it?
Well, maybe that gives them a clearer conscience, maybe? I don't know.
No. I think this is so wrong. And let me tell you something. We're talking about immigration. Her heritage is Mirpuri, which is a part of Pakistan where a lot of immigrants came. And so she's probably third generation, second generation. We have a problem of immigration that she needs to, and I would agree with her if she did that. Mirpuris are amongst the people who have most abused the migration system through marriage. So it includes forcing their young people to marry a relative in Mirpur so that relative can come here. I want Shabana to deal with that.
Right, OK. Well, she might do.
They never talk about anything that affects them. It's always, let's really, get the asylum seekers, the voiceless.
Let's take our break, because viewers will want to speak about this. We're talking more about these asylum reforms, which they sound very hardline. They've certainly worked up the Labour backbenches. Peter here says they're not even going to happen. They're just fanciful. Yasmin hates them. The Home Secretary says the system's broken. One MP has branded the proposals repugnant. What do you think? Give us a call. 020 7862 2222 is the number you need. Before the break, we asked in text messaging, what's SMS? We said, is it simple or short or safe message service? And it is the second one, short message service. Yeah, so it's only, I didn't know this is 160 characters maximum a text message. And it doesn't need, crucially, wireless. It can go on a normal phone line. There we go. Unlike MMS, which is a multimedia something. Welcome back. We're live on 5 with Peter and Yasmin. Later we'll be asking if work on railways should be banned over Christmas, because there's going to be 32 days of disruption on 2,500 trains over the festive period. Does that bother you? Have you changed your plans already? First, though, let's talk more about asylum reform and if this crackdown is cruel or fair. Do call us 0207 862 2222. I guess the other option is to say what Peter said, which is it ain't going to happen. It's just a show. And we're all supposed to be taken in by it. It's not looking good for the Prime Minister as well on other grounds. Almost half of all Labour voters want him out of Downing Street by the next election. Only a third want him to lead the Labour Party into the election. And if the asylum changes go ahead, I suppose it could save him, Peter.
Oh, no, it won't, I'm afraid, because the vast majority of voters that are leaving the Labour Party aren't going to the right. They're actually going to the left. They're going to the Green Party. The Green Party now pose a significant existential threat. They've got structurally sound. Their membership skyrocketed under this new Zach Polanski chap, who is a very not my cup of tea politically, but I tell you right now, that guy's got game and he knows how to campaign.
He's got game.
Yeah, honestly, like he's one to watch.
He knows what he's doing. He's been on the show a bit.
Yeah.
And you know, there's an energy there.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
He knows the social media game. He knows how to connect to a youth vote, which the Labour Party have also evaporated away.
He was on stage the other day with a guy called Rizzle Kicks.
Yeah.
Mr. Kicks.
It's two of them.
Oh, sorry.
It's a band.
Okay, two.
I mean, even I know that one.
Have you heard of Rizzle Kicks?
No.
They said, yeah, but I just watched this concert, right? And Rizzle Kicks is there with all his fans. And then Rizzle Kicks says, I wanted to introduce you to the leader of the Green Party. And the guy comes out, he's almost a bigger star. And it was like Corbyn at Glastonbury. Anyway, that's beside the point. They're gone already, those voters, aren't they, Yasmin? So for Labour, they've got to try and go right.
No, they don't. They really don't. You cannot, say stuff our normal Labour voters. We'll go to Reform voters and get them back with these really ruthless, cruel, inhumane policies. They're not going to vote for you, sir and madam. They have Reform already.
But isn't Peter right that this policy is like HS2? It looks good on paper, maybe, not to you, but the idea that they're going to put tracks down at any point,
I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about the fact that she talks about division and then makes a speech which tells the people of this nation it's okay to treat human beings. They are human beings. Just
let me ask you a question that's
they're human beings.
Let me ask you a sensitive question. You sometimes find that ministers who are in ethnic minorities, and I'm talking about all parties, and you take Suella Braverman as another example, are to the right of the centre of gravity in their party, but some way to the right. What's that about?
I don't know, and it's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
Priti Patel.
Maybe that on the way up they have more to prove.
Well, there's definitely that. Of course
it's
there
not
is.
that.
Yeah,
It's not
particularly in the Conservative Party, there definitely is. But what I will say, though, is I don't like Mahmood's comments here because I do think that she's trying to use it as a defence. I think Yasmin's right. It's a major issue, but she's using that to shield herself from criticism from the reforms. You see it quite a lot with people like Shabana, that basically they don't want to be criticised. So what they do is they make themselves the victim. They try to change the narrative of their own story. It's a quiet trick, but
and
she's
also,
not very
she thinks that it's racist. She gets racist abuse. Has she thought about how the whole story of asylum and refugees and migrants and settled migrants' children is going? How much racism has been unleashed?
Well, I wondered,
We had a report from the Royal College of Nurses.
Let's take some calls.
College of Nursing saying it's gone up 56%.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
she
their fault.
said, her point, Yasmin, come on, is that she says she gets racist abuse because people are so fed up with the levels of untrammeled immigration.
That's where she's misleading us.
If you tackled the issue of illegal immigration like competently, then there wouldn't be the rhetoric within the society.
That's her
the
point. I'm not saying she's right. That's her point.
What we need Labour to do, and it has not done at all under Keir Starmer, is to say what migrants have given to this country.
Well, most of them are an economic drain. That's the reality. They don't give anything.
It's not true.
That is evidently true.
No,
it's evidently
migrants,
true.
Well, people like me.
No.
Because not everybody lives in Hampstead, I'm afraid. Most
I
people
don't
seem
live
to
in Hampstead.
Well, nice leafy green suburbs, put it that way.
No.
If you
You're
look,
so
look,
wrong.
look,
Let
look
Peter
at where-
speak.
look
Let
at
Peter
where
speak.
these
You
people
can
are
come
being
back.
put. These are in lower economic areas, and they are having a detrimental... There was a 14-year-old girl taken around the back of a pub and sexually assaulted by a migrant who was
sexual
brought
assault
in.
doesn't happen
Yes,
by...
but I don't have to import the problem and make it worse.
No,
that is what
we
you're
are
advocating
talking-
for, because you don't know who these people
I'm sorry,
are.
I
This
have
is
to
a public
speak.
Okay,
safety
Yasmin,
issue.
come
I
in.
am talking about migrants, all migrants. And
But
our
you can't do that. You
Hang on.
can't talk about all migrants. There are differences
He's not letting
between
me
them.
talk.
No,
Listen.
he is. You
No,
just keep
listen.
going.
I'm saying you're talking about one group of illegal migrants, undocumented migrants, and then Farage has moved on from there. Farage is saying settled migrants who've been here for decades, can be deported, will be deported.
I don't think he said that. And
He
I'm no
has,
Nigel
he
Farage
has,
fan. I'm
he
no
has.
Nigel Farage
Okay,
fan. by
guys,
any
has.
stretch
we're going
He
to
has
take
said
some
it.
calls.
He has said
You're
it.
at cross purposes here. Angie in Essex, hi.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning, panel.
Morning. What do you think? So if
first
let's
of all-
start on the basis that these plans go in, which is a stretch, as we know. But if they go in, are they cruel?
No, I don't think they're cruel. I don't think the Home Secretary's gone far enough. Firstly, when are this government and other successive governments going to start thinking about the British people? The British people. Yeah.
By British people, you mean anyone who... What are you talking about? Do you mean people who are born here, or people who've settled here, or people who are white, or what?
Well, there's people that have settled here in the medical profession that are really good, really lovely. They've
Okay.
been here years,
Yeah.
years and years and years. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the illegal migrants coming across the channel. If they were, how does people get processed if they're throwing their passports, everything into the sea? How do we know who these people are?
A lot of people say that,
It's
yeah.
just out of control.
Yeah, but
And
no
why
one has... So the
is-
Tories had a
why is
policy...
veteran-
If you arrive by boat, you never, ever will be allowed ever to have citizenship. But I don't know where that policy went.
It's actually Article 2 of the Illegal Migration Act is yet to be activated. So it's passed by law, but it's not been activated. So that when Shabana Mahmood actually says, I'm going to do everything within my power, that's within her power, and she isn't doing it.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
she's a little
Okay.
bit old talk and not a lot of trousers. I'm afraid.
Angie, thank you. Cecilia in Essex, what do you think?
Hello. Now, I think that the crackdown is fair.
Crackdown is fair.
Yes.
Can you tell Yasmin, because Yasmin is really deeply concerned about it.
I think that people who come into this country need to come in through the legal route. If you decide to come in on the what do you call them? Those boats, those things
dinghies.
from the river. I don't think those people need to be considered as immigrants.
Yasmin.
Those are the ones that go for asylum or whatever it is.
Cecilia,
Yasmin's going to... Hang on, Cecilia, wait a sec.
Cecilia,
Hello? Yeah.
there is no legal way, and you can look this up at the moment, and in the last 10 years or probably longer, in most distressed countries like Afghanistan, like Syria, like Iran, there is no legal way that people who are being persecuted can apply for asylum anymore.
How about that, Cecilia?
There is no legal way. I don't believe that is true.
Go check it.
All right. Thank you very much. After the
No,
break, we're
I
taking
don't.
more of your calls. Do you think the planned asylum reform is cruel or fair if it comes in? 0207 862 2222. See you shortly. Before the break, we asked in Vietnam, what job could tourists do for £3? They pay to do the job. Temporary village emperor, food market inspector, or duck leader. It is duck leader. We can see that in action. We can see the duck stop in Phon Na in Vietnam. So I think she has paid. Oh, has he paid or has she paid? She's paid. Okay, she's paid to be essentially a plate for the ducks. I don't want to even question it. We accept all practices here. I don't know nothing I can say. Maybe we shouldn't. Peter and Yasmin are with us this morning. Later we'll be asking if works on rail lines should be banned over Christmas. There's a lot coming. And you might well have a Christmas train direct journey. If so, you'll want to watch because we've got a map and all the disruption labelled. Now, let's have some more calls on these reforms, which have caused a little bit of a ruckus here. 0207 862 2222. Gary in Wiltshire, is she being cruel, the Home Secretary?
No, I don't think she is. In actual fact, I don't think she's taken it far enough. The reason why I say this is purely and simply because you've got all these illegal immigrants coming across in boats. And I was just listening to the news earlier on this morning, and the government are only funding 30% of the hospices, what is operating now, and they're having to do £20,000 a day to keep the hospices open. And I think that the money that they're spending putting these people in hotels and all the rest of it could be better spent on the actual funding more with
of
the
hospices. Well, the hospices, could do with $6 million a day, which last time I looked was the amount being spent on hotels. But it's interesting, Peter, that the government hasn't said, look, what callers seem to want, most of them, Yasmin, not all, is something to stop boats landing here.
Yeah, the Labour Party and the government have rather confused the question because they just think, we get them out of the hotels, problem fixed. People want them out of the country and not coming here. What I will say, though, is that caller is absolutely bang on here because we're about to probably have yet another punishing budget, and it is yet again to fill this funding gap that this migrant crisis is sucking in. It's resources, it's money, it's
But isn't
time,
that a small part of the funding gap?
It's a very small part.
It's £2 trillion.
Yes, but
This
it's
is
£2
really
trillion.
wrong.
It's not small change, is it? And
But
that
I
could
really
go to the
want to say
hospices.
something because this is moving in one direction, right?
Yeah.
There are people in this country. There's a woman called Tina Fenner in Sevenoaks. There's a woman called Wendy something, again in Sittingbourne, who are fostering asylum children, dozens of them, who tell the stories that we never hear in the public space. These people are not the devils arriving on our shores. Some of them come from Afghanistan, where we went in, right? 25 years ago, and we abandoned. Why don't we've so dehumanized them that we've dehumanized ourselves in the process.
The problem is, Yasmin, we haven't
listen to what
I am
he
listening.
just listened.
However, what I am going to say is some people that we have let in have done horrific things.
They're not all of them.
But I didn't
Horrific
say that. I
things
didn't
are
say
done by
that.
everybody.
But you've got to admit the same thing the other way around. You can't say that everybody who comes here is, the second coming of Jesus.
Have I said that?
But I didn't say the other thing.
The
And you tried to
children.
down me.
What have children done? What have the children done?
What about the people that have been murdered by migrants who have come here who have no right to be here?
Yeah,
This Christmas there will be an empty place.
This is how it happens.
And that's the point.
I'm sorry, Tim. This is how it happens. This is what happened in 1930s in Germany. You pick a group, you demonize them. One of them does something wrong. And then the whole group is demonized to the point where there was a genocide.
David,
Do not
you
go
actually
there.
think this is going to lead to a genocide. I've heard of some hyperbole, but that is utterly ridiculous because all you have to do is have a fair and balanced.
We haven't had that.
But we haven't had it because people like you keep banging on about the fact that everybody here is a doctor
because I'm the only one capable. Very few of us dare to defend these people because we're told they are the devils.
Let's get another call. Dave in Belfast. Is the government being cruel?
Yes, Jeremy. Good morning.
Do you agree with Yasmin?
I do indeed, yes. But could I ask the panel and yourself one simple question?
Okay.
Why can we not simply and safely tow the boats straight back to France?
I thought you were saying you were agreeing with Yasmin that we've got to be more welcoming.
No, we're not. We need not to be welcoming.
Oh, okay. So for a second, I thought you were agreeing with Yasmin there. So you think we should tow them back to France?
Why can we not simply tow them back?
Can I give you the answer? Because when they arrive back in France, the French will say, we've never seen these people before. And they won't allow them to dock. So the French won't allow them back in. So then you've got to push them across the channel and leave them. And then a boat will sink and the Defence Secretary will have to resign.
Can I ask Dave one thing? How many Irish people, both in the north and mainland Ireland, have migrated across the world because life was so tough in Ireland? How many millions? And you show no concern, no sympathy for these people. Why?
Well, I listened to the panel there, both you and Tim, and
Peter. You
both argue the bit so vehemently. And we still have this trouble of the migration. It is awful, and it is just breaking people apart.
It's because it's disorderly, Yasmin. That's what seems to really upset people. You have to play by the rules in this country. If you leave your car on a yellow line, it gets towed.
This is why I'm saying there is no legitimate way, legal way. How do you do it in Afghanistan?
Understood. Yeah. Okay.
How do you do
Dave,
it?
Thank you. Lawrence in Aberdeen, hi.
Hello there, good morning.
Lively one today.
Right. What I want to say, I quite agree with the man from Belfast there, exactly the same. But the thing is, it's causing so much distress to everybody in this country. Now we've got them up in Scotland. I'm not saying we shouldn't get them. We're part of the UK. But now we have them being placed into student accommodation halls in areas that normal people have lived in for years and years. And there's crime already starting to develop there too. And the noise that these poor people have to put up with protesters and those around them.
But they're fleeing, Lawrence, they say that they are fleeing war zones.
How do you know that? We don't know where they're from.
Well,
we do know where they're from.
No, because we don't have any documentation as to who these people are.
We do.
No,
actually,
we don't.
There is a list that
this is the fundamental problem at the heart of this.
Let him finish.
This is the fundamental problem, is that safety has been ignored by this government and the previous one as well, because the hotel thing was just literally we had to put them somewhere. The fundamental problem is a sense of fairness. People are seeing migrants being showered with football tickets, driving lessons, English classes.
That is a lie.
No, it's not. It's
that is a lie.
Yasmin, speak now. Yasmin.
It is not a lie. But then you've got people living on the street. You've got people struggling to pay their bills. We're going to have another punishing budget, and yet it's the sense of fairness that is not existent in this country.
I was letting Yasmin come back, but I gather actually Holly in Antrim, you agree with Yasmin?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I do.
You think we're being really
cool
unkind?
And yeah, I do. I feel like I live in Northern Ireland, and I totally agree with what Yasmin's saying. There's thousands of people left here because of the Troubles and couldn't return actually because it was unsafe to do so. So I feel like these people are fleeing war-torn countries, and I don't think any parent would put their child on a boat unless they generally had no other choice.
All right. Thank you. Good. Well, I'm glad we got some balance there. There we are. Yasmin. Holly came in for you at the end there. The award-winning Yasmin. So all your calls welcome. Thank you so much. Later we'll talk about something else, whether people need to stop complaining about children being noisy in playgrounds. This is a village where they got so many complaints about playground noise, they've bulldozed the playground. After the break, though, we're talking about the planned train disruptions over Christmas. Is it right that rail works are scheduled just when everyone's off to see their families? 0207 862 2222. Stay with us.